Hello, hello. Good afternoon, everyone. Ucha. So, uh, description for the stream says it all, but Hathaway movie comes out tomorrow, and I meant to finish this illustration in time for tomorrow, but didn't happen because I've been stuck. But I'm here today, and I'm here for a very short session, little short digital painting session. Cha-cha. So I'm gonna just doodle a noodle for about an hour before my cousin comes over for our weekly workout, and then I am going to have dinner with my dad because it's his birthday. Okay, so it's actually been quite a few weeks since I actually worked on this. Unfortunately, it's been like 2 weeks since I actually was painting on it. I've opened it here and there just to touch up some tiny things, but be good to reevaluate my layer management right now really quick before I get into it. So I have a couple of references here on the right side of a custom kit from someone. I should actually put the source for these images with them. That would be a good practice for me to do. I'll make sure to do that next time. But here's the crop from this shot. This is the shot that I'm repainting. And then I have a lot of references of the actual model kit just to bump up the actual, visual fidelity of the model. Because obviously, if we look at the movie interpretation, it's pretty simplified for readability. But as you can see, I did a couple of things, like for example, putting in this detail here on the back leg, back half, because that's what this model kit has. So I have like a slightly simplified version of that. I think on the kit itself, yeah, actually, this is there by default, but it doesn't show up here. Yeah, it doesn't actually show up there at all. So I took that crop, did a little lighting adjustment so I could read it a little bit better. Have all these references here. Uh-oh. What's up with this? Should be fine. Maybe I'll turn off the Mega Man off HD. Maybe that'll help. Anyways, yeah, so we'll check over these layers again. Yeah, I've even been going through trying to find different model kit review videos so I could get like a proper full look around at the model, because some of it is a little bit hard to interpret and translate as a drawing, like the shoulder area. So like this is really hard to tell what's happening with the shoulders. My stream should be working, right? Let me go ahead and double check that. Also, I found a a Mega Man inspired soundtrack. It's what's it called? Luxury Jazz Vaporwave. That's what we're listening to right now. This guy used a little bit of AI to help composite to work in general, a little bit, but then I think he did a really good job of, like, with the overall vision, if that makes any sense. I think it's a pretty good use of it. Okay, I meant to check to see if my stream is running properly. It should be. This guy used a little bit of AI to help composite to work in general, a little bit, but then I think he did it. Okay, yeah, I think I'm good. I am fine. Alrighty. Also, I don't like how this looks right now. Like, I'm gonna have to work on that. So, layer management, that's first part. And then as far as painting goes, as far as the actual painting goes, I think I want to work on, I want to just finish up this upper chest area first, maybe. I think it's either that or I want to do these wing sections, because it's actually really interesting. So let's move this aside a little bit. Is this the thruster? Should I just merge that in? Maybe. I'll just label it first. Also, I think I'm opting out the shield too. It doesn't feel like it's properly sized in this image. Like, look at how tiny it is, doesn't it? So I was trying to make it look a little bit bigger, but then if I do that, it also, one, I'm not finding much success in drawing this shield in this angle and painting this shield in this angle quite yet. I feel like it's much more interesting just to see the shape of the arm, like this whole horn right here. I think is really interesting to look at. So I might go with that instead. I think this is like a general flattened. This is the hand. Back calf. Let's just line work. So I can technically merge that down later. Merged one. Just straight up. Is that it? That's my current working layer. It's a paint test though. Just go ahead and look at this stuff really quick. Yeah, that was my original underdrawing. Also, it feels a little bit too skewed diagonally. Kind of lose a lot of that interesting detail that's right there. And then yeah, it feels like he's leaning a little bit too forward, which might be okay, but oh, this part of the track is pretty jamming actually, cause it's Chill Penguin. That's why. I dig it. Oh man. Hello. Hi, Penguin. What you dabbing about? I'm flattered if it's about what you're looking at. Being completely honest, I'm struggling with this painting right now, which is why it's not done. I've been hoping to have finished it tomorrow, but it's not not happening. Or it might happen. I might finish tomorrow. I might just log in. We'll see. Okay, brushes. I'm trying to look at brushes. Can I not make navigating? Yeah, yes. Let me make this navigator a little smaller. And look at my brushes.
So, you've come. X, I gave you the ability to choose your own path in life. And I hope the world would allow you to choose a peaceful one. But now it seems that you are destined to
I should bounce out this calf, actually. That should be one of the first things I do.
Good luck.
What am I using right now?
X.
So that part's exposed. That's all exposed metal. And then there'll be a cutoff there. And so we'll just mark that there real quick. And it looks kind of thick in comparison, so we'll cut that off there, probably. Yo, Van! What's up, Van? Thanks for coming. Thanks for giving me that moral support. I hope you had a good day, brother. Dude, I swear to God, I haven't touched this painting in like 2 weeks. Thankfully, my layers weren't too fucked up, so it's pretty easy to pick back up on. So I make that look not so thick and chunky. Balance it. There we go. But then it's too thin. That's okay. I'll fix these shapes. Hi everyone. Good afternoon or good day, good evening, wherever you are. Does that look appropriate? Maybe? IDK. Dude, my process is like it's shit right now. I'm just doodling where I think like whatever I learned professionally, I feel like it's gone by the wayside just because I've been so out of practice. Actually, it was earlier in the stream, but as far as how I started it, here we go. I'm going to turn all this shit off. Yeah, so that's the base sketch that I started with. And then I try to establish the midtone, the shadows and the midtones. And then went in with a little bit of color. And I tried a couple of things like doing the shield, tried doing an alternate angle for the shield. Because I didn't like the size of this. I also didn't like how it was angled like that. I tried to have it go more with the arm sort of thing, maybe, in my own opinion, but I'm just not having success with doing the shield, so I might just do the arm by itself. Plus, I think this arm shape is pretty cool. Also, I want to actually bring up this part of the knee more too. I want to accentuate that. Like I'm kind of scratching my head at how I'm gonna approach this part. I'm kind of scared. Let's see. Let's look at this. How does this look? I mean, it just looks like a flat panel coming off there. It's just like the angle I drew is throwing me off probably. So pick this value here. Face up there, that's where it is. Kinda. Like I guess the most important thing I should do first is just separate those values again so I can reorient myself. Like there's this little section here. And then I want to erase that part later. It's also going to be as bright as this part because that's facing the same lighting direction. So I'll go ahead and establish that. I'm so hyped for the movie. But I haven't gotten tickets to watch it yet. So I'm not sure if I'll watch it tomorrow or not. Maybe. Yeah, I think that's one of the coolest things about watching other people is seeing how they work. Even if it's like not how you would work, I think it's just cool because it reveals a lot about how they think. Okay, so could that be a little bit brighter? Maybe. Being completely honest, this isn't this isn't actually a Gundam design I'm a huge fan of either. I feel like it's over designed. But the shot that they had in the movie is a super cool IMO. There, like this can all come out even more. Forget. Heck yeah. Hey pipe. I can't lie though, I'm so out of the loop now as far as just everything in general. I'm so out of the loop with most things now. Like I didn't even clock that like the Avatar series was making a comeback and that it got leaked. Like I found all that shit out together at the same time, which is really fucking funny. Sad and funny. Yeah, the shield is super tricky because it's so foreshortened in this angle. So I'll tackle it again after I do the rest of this leg. This is definitely darker. So more like that. That's probably the value that is more appropriate here. And then part of my problem too when it comes to doing more illustrative paintings is, since I come from an industrial design background, I have a hard time, you know, letting go, so to speak. Like I always get so held up on trying to be, you know, like physically accurate. I should just embrace I should really try to embrace the more like happy accident type stuff, you know what I mean? I don't do that enough. Yeah, I think that's a pretty interesting dynamic with properties, with like franchises and properties you love. Especially if you're an artist too. Like I think if you're just like a casual consumer, you definitely don't care as much. But if you're an artist, like there's like the fan side of you that's like, oh, this is what like is super key and intrinsic to the series or whatever. And then there's like the art side of you where it's like, oh, like what if like this was like interpreted this way, or what if this happened instead, sort of thing, you know what I mean? Like I feel that way with like a lot of games especially. I say like with movies, I guess it's like less. I'm less keen on like those sorts of changes, I guess. I don't know, because it's more linear maybe. And then when you play a game, you live in it. You live in that space more, and your ideas gestate way more frequently, I guess. If that makes sense. I'm trying to think of like what's a remake thing I got into recently that had like Trigun. Like I honestly didn't like the new Trigun style too much, especially how heavily it leaned into the whole cel shaded, like really minimal cel shaded look. It wasn't as gritty and that sort of thing. But like, so that's me as like an OG, not even OG, like as the anime show, as a fan of that, you know, I didn't like how it was visually, but I appreciated what they were trying to do as far as like the story went, and how they like the general animation and like the cinematography of it was. This part's definitely way too big. Yeah. Let's draw some lines here. Yeah, so that split should be more likely. I guess I should do this now. Utilize the mask to erase some of this for now. Like that. Yeah, and then like I have a problem like where situations like this happens where I get stuck on like a tiny little section, stuck trying to interpret it properly. And I don't have to, because it's such a tiny part, right? that. And then pretend this leg comes out here. Chops in like that. Yeah, it sucks, man. Like even with this Gundam movie, it looks super nice. Like the production quality looks really high, but I'm still in the camp where it's like, you know, especially like the 90s animation is just so much more gritty and so much more detailed, and you know, when you animate a lot of that stuff by hand, you can warp stuff by hand. But then, you know, for production purposes, it makes sense, right? Like this is a lot more feasible to do. It's a lot easier for a whole team to remain on model, right? If they're all working off of computer models and things like that, and it makes sense. But as an artist, I lament it. So that's there. It's a little too low. Right? I feel, yeah. I actually have I have one of the books actually. I have to take a picture and send it to you. I forget which book I have from Shiro. I know I should just be like that too. Like if I get to the point where I get stuck, I should just, you know, right, move on to the next part of it or call it whatever. Fuck it, we ball. Google, what do you want? I wasn't talking to you. I said fuck it, we ball. That sounded nothing like... That sounded nothing like a summon for you. You tripping out. Oh yeah, I remember I got stuck here too, because this leg geometry is freaking weird. Like I could just look at it for 20 minutes and try to break it down, and then I go back and work on the painting, and then I lose track of what I was thinking of. I'm so lost. And also, there's nothing else there. As soon as this ends here, then the blue starts up. So the blue definitely overlaps a little bit more. But it shouldn't cut in too much. Someone just, if you like to view the pen, and we'll trim this here. What's up, Sunny? Ah, sad days. But yeah, I mean, concerning like the fact that we can still get some gems sometimes, right? That's still nice, at least. Like, yeah, I lament not having some of this 90s animation be like the feasible norm. But that's why we need more auteurs in the world, man. We need more people with their own visions and who are just willing to ball out and do the thing they need to do to make it real. Would that be right to make that channel like that? No. That. Up there. Up there. Just a little bit. And then just a tiny bit of lighting here. Just so I can keep that separation in mind. The highlight might be a little bit too intense for that spot though. Yeah, that's a super good practice, man. I like that. Yeah, usually when I struggle with something, yeah, I'll try to do a sketch on the side. Like I think I'm wondering if there's like a specific spot here that I did it. Probably not in this painting. I don't have any like side doodles. On the marathon drawing though, I think I did. Let me see if I pulled that file. Oh, like this stuff. This stuff was super hard to interpret because if you look at the game model, everything is like this weird, like amorphous, like soft shape polymer thing. So it's really hard to break down some of the shapes. Like, it was really hard to tell what kind of like box these were that sat on the shoulder. So it was like me. I was drawing over the in-game models so I could try and do that detective work on the line work here. It's like, oh, there's like this tiny little radius here, right, on all four corners, and then there's this like diagonal cut on the top half. But that diagonal cut doesn't necessarily extend to this. Like it's fucking weird. But it's cool though, I dig it. Anyways, yeah, I was like trying to do a little bit of like side drawing. And I might be doing that a little bit here too. I hid all of the other extra stuff though, because I was trying to do a little screenshot capture of all the work together. I'm hoping I could someday do some animations then, also. Like, you know, like tiny little like 20-30 second flashes, because I'm not an animator obviously, but I want to know enough to try and, because my favorite stuff is like ballpoint pen type stuff, right? So like having lots of line work, so doing an animation, like a really short animation piece with lots of line movement is something I want to try out, just as like a fun personal project. Okay, so I want to make these point out a lot more, because it's the same in this one too. Why was I so not willing to poke it out that much? I'm not sure. So I'm going to cut that back out. So the origin point for that is really low on the leg, actually. It's kind of like here. Kind of this is where the bottom of that leg, the knee guard, so maybe here? Maybe. But then we would conflict, it's too tangential to the hand, so. Maybe if I do it here. Oh, I think I know why I made it tuck in so much, because it didn't feel appropriate perspective-wise. That's why. But this part of the knee does flare out, because it does like this sort of thing, right? We're doing what you talked about, Van. It's like that's the center line here. You know, there's like this little flare out thing that happens right here. That's why. I remember now. Yeah, I want to imagine a couple of like keyframes and paintings and just do like some in-betweens, like a really short thing. Poke you out. If I do this way, I feel like that looks okay actually. Because then at least these two look like they're, but then this would need to be a little bit slimmer. I hate how over-designed this mech is, but at the same time, that's part of the point, lore-wise. Oh, I think I know why it looks so funky. Because this angle is like way too sharp inwards that way, when in fact this angle should be more like that. That's part of the reason why it looks so off. Yeah, I didn't do this proportion here super well. Ah, and then I feel like I want to start a bunch of this over again. No, I'll just fucking paint over it. It's fine. Oh, what do I do? Fuck it. That's good, man. we can all do well to remember that as artists, right? It's like we should always we should always try to imagine what more we can do with our work, right? So, fix that there. Oh, I cannot draw this straight right now. Okay, there we go. That's fine. I'm happy with that line. It sucks because I already kind of noodled some detail pretty hard into that. Now I'm getting rid of it. That's fine. I gotta remember that's like one of the big advantages to digital, right? Is you can go as additive or destructive as you want, and it's okay. Because you're not wasting paint. That's okay. Maybe a little bit of electricity. Is that chamfered there? Is that chamfered angle? It's not here. That's a right angle here. And here it just looks like a chamfered angle. It might be. Might actually be cooler to do a more chamfered angle. I think that might actually look a little bit cooler. Van, I'm starting to think I should just like do that. Just be like, fuck it. Just, you know, quote unquote cake wherever I want the cake, you know? Fuck accuracy, right? And then like this needs to be closer in. Fuck it. Photoshop. Fuck it. Just I want to move deeper in here. Right, that almost perfectly worked out. Does it look a little bit better? Maybe? I feel like it's actually this top part. I can angle it. Yeah. Yeah, that's probably a little bit better. And that means this side will have to go down a little bit, but that's fine. Yeah, I I really don't like this. This needs to go down. How am I gonna problem solve that? So first off, this red actually needs to be way more pervasive here. Did my cousin text me yet? Maybe. It is almost 5. Give it more cake. Always give it more cake. Yeah, for me, it could also be because I was so used to doing ballpoint sketches for a big part of like high school and my undergrad. The first quarter of my undergrad, I was so used to doing ballpoint sketches, and you know, the leeway for mistakes was so little there. I guess for me, you know, being so much more experienced beyond that now, I feel like I should have that naturally baked in, where it's like, oh, I get this right, you know, really easily, when obviously that's not the case all the time, right? So me having unrealistic expectations for how I approach art, I guess, and I'm not practicing enough to match up to it, so. So honestly, it's great that you're telling me that you're drawing every day, because it's inspiring me to try and do that more. I have another friend who's a close friend of my sister's who's also been trying to get me to draw more, and she's been posting a lot of stuff that I've been seeing, and it's really cool. So I've been trying to, you know, pick up after you guys in that sense. You guys are doing art too. I can't let you guys down. Can't let you guys have all the fun by yourselves. So there's a little attachment here, and then the rest of the arm actually lifts off of that. Right, so we'll go ahead and erase into here, just to give it that sense of lacking volume. And we'll go ahead and put in like an ultra dark there, so we can separate those panels. I'm wondering, what is this thing here though? Like, what is this shape? What is that? Is it for the shield? No. I might have to find a YouTube video for. What is that attachment for? Like, why is it there? What is this random block here? Question. Interesting. Thanks, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate that you think that. Either way, this is also kind of canonical, right? So stronger lighting on this side, and then it wraps around. And it's gonna need to be a little bit more gradual than that. Something like that. It goes all the way down. So this should actually just directly cut into like that. No? I know what I can do. Let me flip this. There we go. Now I figured it out. Just flip one of the references around. Got it. Thanks for keeping me up, Van. I'm gonna say that. Thanks for keeping me up, dude. Appreciate you, sir. So these will be there. I'll just put that there, just so I'll remember. And then there's also this thing that happens here. Man, cheat code unlocked. Everyone, this is why you should always find alternate perspectives. Literally learn new things just from flipping a different angle. I was stuck earlier, but now I just found my juice. And I have to remember not to pace and not to give the cinema shot too much credit. Yeah, I see what you're saying, but then like I don't necessarily see it on this side, and I feel like the actual like lever function would be at the lower part of the base. Like if there's like an extra support beam here, that does make sense, but it's primarily because like maybe the perspective angle is just like that, you know, that skewed or whatever. Because I'm also trying to remember from the models, like from the videos I watched, but I don't remember it being an actual part on the model kit that you can extend either. Like I think the actual opening, the flap opening mechanic isn't the real thing on the model kit. Probably shouldn't be that dark though, this here. And this can also be a little bit fatter. thing is too wide and my brush isn't sharp enough, so it's making it really fuzzy. Let's see, how should I do this part? Okay, let's reset this really quick. Let's actually get my values in order.
So, you've come. X, I gave you the ability to choose your own path in life. And I hope the world would allow you to choose a peaceful one. But now it seems that you are destined to fight. Good luck. X.
Okay. There's like this tiny little edge up here. Alrighty. All these shapes are crazy. Everyone's been making crazy shapes. I feel like I'm struggling with shapes, but it's fun. I need to embrace the fun that is figuring out shapes. I need to stop being so scared of making shapes wrong, and I should just embrace. You won't know the shapes unless you try to mold it. Okay, this cuts in here. Now this should technically keep going. Keep going, and then this should technically connect, and then there's like a little gap in between. Then that means this would be like super thick, because just looking at that. Unless I cut this angle more again, bring this back out here, maybe. Yeah, that might work a little bit better. Yeah, so I'll readjust this angle so it goes out a little bit. And then bring this down here. Yeah, that sounds good, Chi. Cool beans, cool beans. And then we'll just blame this wonky perspective on foreshortening, if anything. And then I should fully separate this part. Don't get it so mixed up. Oh no, I mixed in some blues in there. That's no good. Whatever. Ugh. Alrighty, guys. Sorry to cut it so short today. Van, thank you for talking to me, by the way. Dude, it's so hard when I stream sometimes. Other people don't talk to me, and you know, that's fine. I don't blame anyone, but I'm not at the point where I can be that entertaining by myself at the moment. But it's good to just, you know, shoot shit and talk a little bit. Get words out there. Alright, let me save this. Now I'm second guessing it. Because now it looks like just a regular horn shape. But in reality, it should be something. I mean, I guess. I want to like resolve this before before I save and hop off. Okay, you know, I got it. It's fine. Like, I just need this highlight.